In this one, it's UCLA 1, Duke 0. They'll face the winner of LAU and St. Louis. Indiana and Bowling Green are underway. They're at zeros. They'll face the winner of Portland and Washington. Villanova and Notre Dame from the ACC. Notre Dame, your number 4 seed, will face the winner of FIU and Wake Forest. Second half is underway with UCLA leading 1-0 here at Koskinen Stadium. The goal coming from Jose Sosa. Of course, part of the story will be, though, UCLA will go the rest of the way with 10 men as Yoni Sorokin was shown his second yellow in the 34th minute. Duke put all kinds of pressure on UCLA before that, during it, and after the red card for Sorokin, but they were not able to score. We'll see what kind of changes John Kerr makes here on the attack to try to find that equalizer, as it looks already like Bean is in there. So Jai Bean, the freshman from Hamilton, Bermuda, Ufarson. So Bean is in there, and as you remember, as we were going to break, I mentioned if John Kerr Jr. was going to add some support for Ufarson and Muhammad, and it looks like it comes in the form of Bean. I like that move tactically, as it also looks like you'll see more of 3 in the back with a couple wing backs, and as I say that, actually, it looks like Daly is going to slide back on that right back spot. So a couple of changes here for John Kerr Jr. and Coach Brady and the gang as they look to find that equalizer. I think Duke is going to put all kinds of pressure on UCLA with the advantage, and it was good to get caught up on the rest of the D1 men's bracket with some big-time games going on with hopes of moving on for all of these teams. So Duke in possession at the moment. They play it forward. Muhammad drops it back over to Bean. Bean pointing into space. Bean running it down. Bean earns a corner kick. Corner kick, Duke Blue Devils.
Taking the corner kick for Duke, number 12, Ruben
Masalas with the corner, wearing number 12 for Duke. Duke would like nothing better to get the equalizer early. They send it in. They don't mess around with those short corners anymore. Headed out of there by UCLA. Masalas is still available. That's a tough ball, 50-50 ball. Won by Masalas, loose. Looked like a little pull right there. Oh my. Duke had a legitimate beef as there was a jersey pull inside the 18. John Kerr Jr. understandably upset. I saw it. The fans saw it as it's head back to Hamill here. And Duke probably should have been awarded a penalty, but no whistle, so Duke will continue to attack UCLA with the player advantage. It did look like there was a jersey pull as they looked for Bean and pulled out of the air by Nate Crockford, who was extremely busy in that first half for the Bruins. UCLA is going to have to survive a lot of attacking soccer here from Duke. Bean making the run. Crockford comes out, and the offside flag is up as that call, I do believe, was right. Looked like Bean left it a little bit too early. Again, just getting you caught up in the 7th minute of the game. Yoni Sorokin was given a yellow card, and then in the 34th minute received his second yellow, and thus the red card. Diaz also got a yellow card, and the UCLA bench also got a yellow card, but the goal scoring came in the 9th minute. Jose Sosa taking an assist from Tucker Lepley, and that's the difference in the game, 1-0 here. Dean Linke with you on ACC Network Extra. I'll be here later tonight for Duke and St. John's women's soccer in the NCAA tournament on ACC Network Extra. Daly, the right back, making the deep run. Muhammad will leave it. Played centrally now to Ihara. And making himself available is McGarvey. UCLA Almost 2 walls of 4 with a player down. Daly, good ball into Stroud. Stroud going far post. Thor got pushed. Oh my goodness, he got pushed from behind and Thor went down, and again they do not get the call. That is 2 times now where it looked like Duke could have received a penalty, and there's another bump, and this time they will whistle UCLA. And Duke with some legitimate arguments here, searching for a penalty. They may find a penalty before this one ends, as UCLA has been aggressive inside the box. They need to be careful, the Bruins do. They're already down a man, and that is 2 times here in the second half where there has been a jersey pull and then an out-and-out shove, that last shove coming on Thor. And, you know, look, I realize there's a lot of gamesmanship in soccer. You get a little touch and you react, but it did look like a push on Ulfarsson, who's over the ball here, not afraid to shoot it from here. Ulfarsson, again, this time over the ball once again, and it'll come back to UCLA. UCLA, maybe even the Bruins faithful back in Westwood are thinking, yeah, maybe a break right there early on here, as a jersey pull and a push, but the referee was right on top of it, so he probably had a better look at it than me. We do not have the value of replay on this pass-through, but it definitely, you could hear the crowd react, and certainly John Kerr Jr. also reacting. Duke stays with it. Great effort by Duke over the head of Muhammad. So now Daly will run it down. Overlapping run coming for Duke. Stroud, oh, he serves, good ball, oh my goodness, it went right by Thor Ulfarsson. I think he couldn't believe it, and UCLA under all kinds of pressure here to start the second half. We got a good one here, folks, as more and more people working their way into Koskinen on this beautiful Sunday afternoon, where they'll play 2 here. The women will play later tonight against St. John's. Duke, an amazing season, making it all the way to the ACC tournament final against Notre Dame as well. Again, I think John Kerr should have been the ACC Coach of the Year. With all due respect to Jay Vidovich, but they were picked to win it, so they were expected to win it. Nobody had Duke going this high and all the way to the ACC tournament final. Daly heads it across and cleared out of there by UCLA. Muhammad wanted a little push, and looks like UCLA is just going to bomb it long quite a bit. That will mean Elliott Hamill will be really busy way outside his 18, as he'll drive it to McGarvey. And the Duke fans like what they see right now from Duke, and why shouldn't they? It looked like they earned not 1 but almost 2 penalty kicks. Sent back across again, and this will go out of bounds. And let me tell you, folks, down a man and up a goal on the road after making the trek just a few days after knocking off UC Santa Barbara, you can bet that this youngster, Nate Crockford, any opportunity he can, if there's 2 balls on the field, he's going to make a meal of that. He's going to take his time. It's part of the game. So every second that ticks off is 1 less second for Duke to equalize despite the man advantage. UCLA, see how often they have the ball here. You can't expect them to have it much. Down a player. They'll play it forward to Muhammad. Muhammad will roll out of bounds. You got to figure Thor Ulfarsson will feature in this. In the 2021 preseason and regular season combined, 34 points for Thor. 14 goals, 1 assist, and 29 points in 14 games. UCLA can make it 2-0, though, off the break. As we're thinking about Thor on one side, UCLA, they're going to have opportunities because Duke's got to go for it here. They've got the man advantage, so every once in a while, even though UCLA is a man down, they will have transition opportunities. That one wasted there by Diaz. Again, Diaz, the hero in overtime, scoring the golden goal against UC Santa Barbara to get UCLA to this point. The goal scorer in this one, Jose Sosa, has an eye for a moment on number 5, Lopez. So this is Edwards. Edwards, if you recall, in the first half, got sick to his stomach and threw up inside the 6, so they had to bring water out, and it took a little while. Probably was delayed 2 or 3 minutes. 11 shots for Duke, 6 for UCLA, 7 shots on goal for Duke in this one, and 7 saves made by the freshman Nate Crockford for the Bruins. Couple players coming over to get instructions from John Kerr Jr. Yeah, and so the player that was not feeling very well, Aaron Edwards, looks like he's going to come off as he tried to give it a go, but he is definitely not feeling top shelf. And he'll give a hug, and coming into the game, Casper Strom, a redshirt freshman from Norway, will come in for the Bruins and have to play some big minutes. Despite not feeling well, Aaron Edwards looked really good. He reminded me of a little bit bigger DeAndre Yedlin, the way he ran that right side. Of course, he's got the fancy hairstyle that Yedlin at times would break out with. Former Akron Zip star, now a member of the U.S. national team, playing overseas. Daly with his right foot, sent back. Duke, there it is! Bounced. Did it get in? Farson thinks it did. They'll say it bounces off the crossbar and not in. We think there's VAR for discipline and goals, but I'm not positive about that. We'll check with Katie Bissell, our producer-director, to confirm that. Daly sends it back across. Again, no replay on a one-camera pass-through, but I need to check to find out if they do have replay to take a look at goals. Perhaps they don't. So they do have the ability to review possible goals, and it looked like the referee signaled over to the fourth official to take a look at it. Farson right there anyway, and perhaps they already looked at it and decided nothing was there. So So now the referee does want to stop the clock to take a look at whether that ball crossed the line. The early word is that it did not. But the official will take a look at it. The referee is Carmen Serbio, assisted by Jude Carr, Jeremy Smith. Dustin Thorne is over there at the fourth officials table. So the clock is stopped with 33:46 as Farson knocks one off the crossbar. And remember, UCLA already has 1 yellow card that their bench received. Coach Jordan asking his assistant coach, Paul Killian, to sit down with him as they take a look.
But he stepped behind you. Do you want to deal with it or not?
Tell me if he does it again, he's going to be sent off.
So it looks like here is, they took a look at it. No go. He waves it off. So Farson thought he had it, went off the crossbar, went straight down, but did not cross the goal line. So they So after reviewing the attempt from Farson, they confirmed that it did not go over the goal line. So we're still 1-0. UCLA on top. UCLA down a player. So Duke with a player advantage, looking for that equalizer. 33:30 remaining in this one. Great crowd here at Koskinen. They play it forward to Bean. Bean turning on it. I like the change that John Kerr Jr. made to add Bean up top with Farson and Muhammad. And I also like the fact that Daly has been getting forward, the sophomore from Elmont, New York, at that right back spot. So quite a few changes with the player advantage. In the middle of the field, Ihara is still out there. But now it's a three-headed attack with Muhammad, Bean, and Yofarson up top. Jai Bean, the freshman from Bermuda, South Kent School. See, every once in a while, UCLA again, they'll send it long, hoping to make something happen on transition, but they will have limited possession. I can guarantee you that here in this second half. Down a player, as I say that, a great run forward coming from Silva. And they'll get it out wide. Trying to run it down is Diaz. Diaz with his left foot. Deflected. One bounce. The clearance there from Duke. Duke needs to win this now and head the other way. Muhammad can't get to it. UCLA knocks it out of bounds. And quick restart here for Duke. Stroud always seems to make the right pass. Tough ball for Bean to handle, but Stroud cleans it up. Stroud now to Daly. Tough ball back. And sliding in there late. Looks like he got hit a little bit there. Was Lopez for Duke. Antonio Lopez, the sophomore from Las Vegas, Nevada, Federal Way Internet Academy. A lot of these players doing their school online and either making the decision to go pro or go to a great college like Duke. Oh, and there's Thor Yofarson. Oh my, he almost flicked it in. 14 goals, he can score in multiple ways. Really good header, got a little flick on it. The far post was open and Yofarson just missed it. And you feel like Thor will score at some point here in the second half. Don't forget, 6 o'clock, it's Duke and St. John's women in the NCAA tournament. Robbie Church. The top man for the Duke Blue Devils. Here's Lopez. Lopez making a long run. Looked like he was fouled right there by Conte. Referee says no. That's a great ball, squared but turned over. Little sliding tackle, trying to find Bean. Now Muhammad gets it to Daly. Good ball back to Muhammad. Muhammad now over to Bean. Bean's got some room. Bean! So close to tying it. So close. Struck neatly with the left foot. Muhammad in the middle of it, Daly in the middle of it, Bean from distance, trying to get it back by Crockford, but just missed. Really like the addition of Bean here in the second half as Bean checks all the way back. Bean will square it over to Lopez. Lopez running downhill. Muhammad wanted it into space. Instead, Daly gets it across. Cleared out of there by UCLA as UCLA's got a long way to go to hang on to this 1-0 lead. Down a man. They'll have to deal the entire second half down a man as they dealt with quite a bit of the second half. The final 10 minutes of the first half, rather, they played down a man, and of course they'll continue to do so. Duke with the long throw in, headed away by UCLA. It'll fall to Muhammad. Murphy, far side. Duke gets another corner kick. Duke.
Taking the corner kick for Duke, number 12, Ruben
Sales with the 5th corner kick of the game for Duke. And you feel like one of these set pieces, Duke will have the answer. Thor in the middle of it. And the goal scorer, Sosa, will clear it. You can see way out of the goal box is Elliot Hamill. Why not? The senior from Scarsdale, New York. Duke will build it out of the back. Ihara drops it to Murphy. Good ball in. Bean is open. Bean turns and falls down. The footing not there for Bean. He had time. Back across again. Denied again. Another save for Crockford. Bean staying with it. Bean dancing with it. And Bean will reset. Duke still has Thor inside the 18. Couple other players. Daly is in there as well. tried by UCLA, but one back by Duke. UCLA in a bunker, understandably, down a player. Lopez will bring it back, trying to find an opening. Ihara will switch it to the left side. Gliding into the 18, far post, looking for Daly, and it will come back to UCLA. The Duke Blue Devils have scored 7 penalty kicks. I thought they were going to get awarded one early in the second half. Nick Periano's buried 2 against Merrimack and Elon. Thor has 3 on 4 attempts, and Peter Stroud has scored 2. I mentioned that because I feel like there could be a penalty kick coming based on those 2 opportunities earlier where Jersey was pulled and then Thor was pushed from behind. It's 1-0, UCLA on top. Duke is not afraid to pepper the net. They had 27 shots earlier this season against Howard. And of course, their ties to Howard also tie back to the women's team, where Zhao, her dad, is the head coach of Howard, Philip Zhao. Of course, Zhao's now moved on and is with the San Diego NWSL team. Little push there from Stroud. Stroud across! Almost an own goal, still loose. Man, I'm surprised UCLA did not let that one roll out of bounds. Instead, they sent it right back in front of the net. It looked like UCLA almost was going to knock one in for Duke. That's the kind of pressure Duke is putting on UCLA. They are all over the Bruins here in the second half. There's no other way to call it. They've got the player advantage, and they have all kinds of attacking options. They're looking for Thor. Headed away. Bean is there. Bean over to Muhammad. Muhammad now to Daly. Daly's been good as well here in the second half. Daly trying to stay with it. Daly. And that's good defense from UCLA. No penalty there. And Coach Brady went through his hands. Boy, the crowd is into this one, and UCLA just trying to hang on. 25 minutes. And I feel like there's going to be a whole lot more shots. 16 shots for Duke, just 6 for UCLA. Bean, Muhammad. Bean wanted it back from Muhammad. Muhammad elected to get it back to Murphy. Now it'll find the feet of McGarvey. Switch to Stroud. Stroud looking for Thor. UCLA read perfectly. There is 5 in a line on that back line for UCLA. 2 in front of them. And then 2 more. Thor, great back heel, tremendous, and it'll be a corner kick Duke. 6th corner of the game for the Blue Devils. Salas over for the corner kick for Duke. With that left foot, Daly shows at the corner of the 18. Sent in, good ball, dangerous. It'll fall to the top of the 18. Muhammad thought he was going to take a crack at it. Falls to Daly. Daly now. Daly pushed. Back across. Headed away. Still into the 18. And Muhammad looking for the deflection there. And I don't think he's going to get it. There's a UCLA player down. So the clock is going to stop here at 24:04 left in the game, with UCLA still riding that early goal. Back in the 9th minute from Jose Sosa, assisted by Tucker Lepley, and then surviving the second yellow to Uni Sorokin, as UCLA has, since the 37th minute, played this game a man down against Duke, and they've seen Duke with 17 shots, 8 of them on frame, forcing Nate Crockford, the freshman goalkeeper from the Chicago Fire Academy program, to make 7 saves for the Bruins. Here's Daly. Daly has been on fire here in the second half, trying to bend one in. Headed high in the air, battling for it is Bean. It'll fall loose, and miss hit there that time by Duke. It'll come back to UCLA.
Hey, 2-5, let's go. Go ahead, go get him. Go
It looks like UCLA going to try to make a change. Remember, number 25, Aaron Edwards, not feeling all that great. Can't say it any other way. He actually threw up in the first half, and they had to clean it off right in the 6-yard box. Now he's going to come back in. Maybe his stomach has settled.
What was that?
Coming out of the game for UCLA is Kevin Diaz. Again, Diaz, the hero in the overtime golden goal win over Tim Baum-Steeg's UC Santa Barbara Gauchos. Lopez along the right side. Daly. Amir Daly, the sophomore from Elmont, New York, has been electrifying here in the second half. Daly. Thought that rolled out of bounds, but they'll say no, and Duke will keep it. It's all Duke offensively with those 18 shots to just 6 for UCLA. You see all of those white jerseys almost in the 18. Sent across again, looking for Thor, and he just missed it. Like I said, you feel like Thor is going to score, but for the second time, just missing the flick with his head.
Hey! We should put Aaron inside.
Thor Yolfarson with 5 game-winning goals on the season. This is the 8th time these two teams have met, and the first since 2016. The Blue Devils trail the series 3-4-0, so a win would even it up. But they won the last meeting on September 2nd, 2016 with a 1-0 win out in LA. The last time the Bruins were in Durham was for an NCAA championship game, with UCLA earning a 3-2 overtime victory in the NCAA quarterfinal on November 26, 2006. It's the only time the two teams have met in the postseason until now. So 21-21, once again in the hands of the youngster, the freshman goalkeeper. You can hear the crowd counting how long the goalkeeper takes to punt it. Muhammad. So much fun to watch. And another foul called against UCLA. And you can see Coach Brady asking to stop the clock. UCLA player stays down. We'll see if he gets a card. So Sosa, the goal scorer, is up now. There'll be no card, just a free kick. They don't even bother with the 10 yards because UCLA going to drop everybody in as an opportunity here now for Masalas to send it in. And it's into the hands of Crockford. So now 20 minutes and change, and UCLA just getting bombarded. 19 shots, 8 on frame, 8 saves for Crockford. Crockford just trying to hang on. So again, UCLA winning that game 3-2 back on 2006 here at Koskinen. Stroud. And it goes over, and Duke's got to be careful. They want to limit the opportunities they give UCLA to chop at that clock, and this is one of them. And the official right now is going to talk to the goalkeeper and say, look, I get the deal here. I know you're going to try to take as much time as possible, while he does that, he does stop the clock. So basically saying he is not going to allow any monkey business. And he does stop the clock here. That can't make Coach Jordan too happy for UCLA, as that is part of the game, to try to at least milk a few seconds off of every goal kick. Lopez over to Daly. Daly mishits that, and UCLA will shield it. Good shield there by Ben Revenot. Revenot, the redshirt senior from San Jose, a transfer from UC Irvine. The transfer portal has changed the game as well. 11 shots in the second half to go with 9 in the first half for Duke. UCLA had 5 in the first half. They've had 1 lonely shot here in the second, and that might be it. They may not get another shot off, as we are under 19 minutes remaining. The Duke fans trying to get behind the Duke Blue Devils. They've got a player advantage. They need to figure out how to get that equalizer. UCLA with a wall of 5 on that back line. Muhammad, that looked like a foul, and the referee says no. And UCLA will send it forward. That did look like Muhammad got fouled. I mean, one thing for sure, the referee's been consistent. He has not called any of those, what some might term as softer fouls, but it still looks like a foul. Again, the referee, the man in the middle, is Carmen Serbio, who I think is going to have some tough decisions here in the final 18. Daly crosses it, nobody home. Boy, Daly has been brilliant on the right side, but nobody home. Murphy comes forward. Murphy tries to touch it into space. It'll be a throw in for Duke. And now all of a sudden it feels like that clock is moving really fast against Duke here. 17 minutes and change remaining in the second. Duke's postseason life on the line against the UCLA Bruins. The Bruins, an overtime thriller over UC Santa Barbara as the number 7 seed in the tournament. Duke awaited the winner. They had to travel all the way to Durham. Headed loose. Daly. Somehow they need to find Yofarson. Like a handball there on Bean. Yofarson. And cleared again by UCLA. Hamill, the goalkeeper, is a good 20 yards outside of the 18 for Duke. Don't be surprised on an upcoming corner kick if he comes forward for it. Stroud. Lopez looping ball, another push, but I think it was a UCLA player pushing a UCLA player. I'm not totally sure, but the UCLA player went down that time. And again, UCLA just dealing with the pressure, and they send it. And now UCLA will push up to midfield. The crowd loud and proud here at Koskinen. Duke, such a fantastic season, returning to the NCAA tournament for the first time since 2018 and doing it as a number 7 seed after making it to the ACC tournament final game against Notre Dame. Back into the 18, cross loose. Wow, you could tell right there Crockford wasn't sure where that one was going. It went off of UCLA. It'll be a corner kick. Corner kick, Duke.
Taking the corner kick for Duke. Number 12, Ruben Masales.
So Ruben Masales says Muhammad got it over there. So Bean is right next to sent in. Nate Crockford's got to be ready. Charlie Crockford is also on this team, a freshman for UCLA. Overlapping run coming from Daly. Salas into Bean. Bean turning. Bean. Denied again there by UCLA. Daly. Daly's on it. Daly will check it back to Lopez. Stroud wanted it. They'll switch it. Ihara, far side to Murphy. Murphy stays with it. Murphy, great size, punched across, all the way across, and nobody home. Wow, and just like that, under 15 minutes remaining in this one. "21 shots, 9 shots on goal, as they have forced Nate Crawford to make 9 saves in this one. Headed down by Lopez. Stroud gets his head on it. Cleared out of there by Tommy Silva. Well, this is trouble. The goalkeeper's way out. Ooh, Lepley. If he was successful in getting over the ball, he may have tried to bomb one long to get that second goal. And now under 14 minutes. Duke, with all the urgency in the world, they have brought it since the opening whistle here of the second half, knowing they've got that man advantage, trying to find space behind this wall of 9. Sent across. Crawford gets a piece of it. Nobody there for the spill, as diving was Crockford. I think he might get credit for another save there. We'll check it in a moment. Stroud to Daly. Daly's got Lopez. Lopez looks up. Thor is just getting manhandled, by the way, in the 18. Thor Yofarson sent across again. Snapped out of there as they were trying to find Yofarson. He was setting his feet, ready to head it. Murphy. Masalas. And cleared out of there by Aaron Edwards, who looks to be okay. Pretty good defense by Casper Strom, number 4. Strom came in for Edwards, and he stayed in there when Edwards came back, and he's been good. There is Edwards. And they'll say off of Edwards, and Muhammad will run it over to the corner flag. We'll see if Muhammad just goes ahead and takes it. He does quickly to Masalas. Masalas sends it in, open. Oh, Murphy missed it. Oh, it's loose and cleared out of there by UCLA. Duke, so many chances. These Duke Blue Devils might make me pass out up here in this one, because I feel like they're going to continue to pepper the net. And the crowd feels it too.
14 on a dog. 14. Come on. Go ahead. Go down. You may go between the wide channel. You can't get uneven numbers over there. You do that work, okay?
So a change for UCLA. Pablo Greenlee, the sophomore from Hollywood, California, part of the LA Breaker system. Coming out of the game, number 14, Jose Cante. So Cante out. The redshirt freshman from Valencia, Spain. Gets a hand from his head coach, Ryan Jordan. Under 12 minutes remaining. 22 shots for Duke, 9 of them on frame.
14.
6 shots for UCLA, only 1 in the second half for the Bruins. Of course, playing a player down. Muhammad, good ball across, trying to find Bean. UCLA once again with the answer. Duke throwing everything, including the kitchen sink, and everything that's under the kitchen sink, as another change into the game. Connor Kelly, offense for defense here. And why not? Down 1-0 with your season on the line. Long throw in for Duke. Headed out of there by UCLA. And UCLA continues to send it long. That's the goal scorer, number 7, Jose Sosa. We'll send it all the way back to Elliot Hamill, the senior goalkeeper for the Duke Blue Devils. Duke. Kelly. Sent in, looking for Thor. 2 white jerseys draping Thor. Daly pops it in the air, and handled again by number 22, Nate Crockford, as we are approaching 10 minutes remaining in this one at Koskinen Stadium, Durham, North Carolina, on the beautiful campus of Duke, on a spectacular Sunday afternoon as part of our coverage of the second round of the men's NCAA tournament. Duke receiving that all-important first-round bye as the number 7 overall seed. UCLA, of course, a perennial power, but they've been down as of late, and this would be considered an upset if they can hang on, particularly if they can hang on going almost 55 minutes without that extra players. They've been down a man since minute 35. UCLA's had some big wins. They knocked off #1 Oregon State back on November 7th. And UCLA, they lost to Washington twice on the season, but beat Oregon State 3-2 on November 7th. This after losing 4-3 against the #1 seed in the NCAA tournament. So clearly UCLA has the ability to play with anybody. There's so much parity in men's college soccer, it's impossible to call. I will say on my unofficial bracket, I picked Georgetown, as I feel like Brian Weiss has a lot of those veterans that won it just a couple years ago. I think Georgetown will be a tough out. Sent too long. 23 shots now, 10 on frame, and 10 saves for the UCLA goalkeeper, the youngster Nate Crawford. So Duke's going to make some more changes here. There's under 9 minutes remaining in the game. It's been all Duke in the second half, but they have nothing to show for it. They could get something here. Nope, UCLA steps up again. Bean has been super active. Bean into the 18. Nobody home to help him, and now UCLA can milk the clock a little bit, and Bean goes down. Bean's got to be careful. He does not want to stay down too long, does not want to milk any of that clock. I mentioned Georgetown. They beat Georgia State earlier today. They await the winner of Providence and Marshall. Marshall, your reigning champs, with 12 minutes remaining. They lead Providence 1-0. Opposite of them, New Hampshire's on top of the Tar Heels 3-1. They'll face the winner of the #1 seed Oregon State and St. John's, as New Hampshire's got a really good team, leading the Tar Heels in New Hampshire. West Virginia and Virginia Tech are tied at 1s. They'll face the winner of Creighton-Tulsa. That game not underway. Opposite of them, Kentucky will face Santa Clara. Denver will face Clemson. Muhammad still on it. Down on the bottom end of the bracket, UCLA leading this one 1-0. Sent across. Duke looking for the equalizer right now. Stroud creates his own space. Slips. Muhammad will get it back. Gets it out wide. And that's completely mishit that time, as taking a big swing at it was Periano. So Duke trailing UCLA. The winner of this game will face LIU and St. Louis. They'll kick off at 3 Eastern. Pittsburgh and Northern Illinois will kick off at 4 o'clock. They'll face the winner of Hofstra and Penn State, at 5 o'clock kickoff. Wake Forest and FIU will kick off at 6. They'll face the winner of Villanova and Notre Dame. Indiana and Bowling Green are at the half at 0s. They'll face the winner of Portland and Washington. That gets you up to speed on the rest of the men's college soccer tournament. Under 7 minutes remaining in this one, where Duke is peppering UCLA with this man advantage, but they cannot find the equalizer. And you feel like if they can find the equalizer with that man advantage, they can find the winner, but they got to get there. Periano.
Keep it on for me.
Periano.
Next white sub.
Periano. Far side across. And that looked like kind of another manhandle there, but no whistle against Strom. Sent back in by Duke. Periano, first time's a great idea! And over the crossbar. Oh, definitely fooled there was Crockford, probably thinking it was going to be a cross, and that's probably what the intention of Periano was, and it almost snuck in under the crossbar. And now the clock, the enemy of the Duke Blue Devils, as Coach Jordan going to make a change. Coming into the game is Jose Conte, back into the game, that is. Duke has dominated this game. I mean, even before the red card, even before the first goal from UCLA, it felt like Duke had the fire, but UCLA got the goal, and Duke has not been able to get the answer. Here they come, Stroud. Stroud, right to number 22, Crockford. Under 5 minutes remaining. Duke just looking for one golden opportunity here to tie it up. Bean. Bean, he's got that explosive touch. Cleared out of there by UCLA. UCLA with all 9 of its remaining field players in or around the 18. Boy, what a victory it would be for UCLA to come all the way across the country and beat this really good Duke team if they can hang on. Bean. Back across, oh, and Thor was there again, but once again, it's into the hands of Crockford.
9 for 14.
Is he good to go
This
in?
is where the referee's keeping an eye on the goalkeeper, but Crockford's going to do his best to kill as much as he can. Goes ahead and punts it, does not want to risk a yellow card, sends it long. Periano, 24 shots against 6 for UCLA. Crockford with a beat on it. Thor, oh, it's gonna fall. Still open. The goalkeeper's out. There it is. The equalizer is finished by Masalas. It felt like it was coming. The goalkeeper out of position, and Masalas has tied it at 1. 25th shot. Shot number 25 is what it takes. Lewis McGarvey finds Ruben Masalas, and we are tied at 1. And now you feel like Duke with that player advantage can go for the winner. The UCLA coaching staff not happy with the equalizer, as coming out of the game will be Conte. I want to say hello to the Kentucky top man, Johan Settergren, who's listening in. Always love to hear from Johan. And Duke now, they're going to go ahead and try to win it here in regulation. Who needs overtime? Picked off there neatly there by Edwards. 25 shots, 11 shots on goal, and Masalas just in the nick of time. His second goal of the season to go with 5 assists. And McGarvey gets his second assist to go with 2 goals. Stroud on it. Stroud for the winner! Yes! Stroud has scored, and it's Duke 2, UCLA 1. I told you if Duke got 1, they could get the second in regulation, and they've done it. Duke 2, UCLA 1.
Let's go! Hey, let's go!
Duke is scored by number 8, Pico Stroud. The assist is returned by Nick Periano.
Pietro! Hey, did you see what their guys doing?
So
Their guys
now-
talking trash. Everybody back!
Now
Get
there's
back!
some pushing and shoving. We're going to have a red card coming, and I believe the red card is going to go to number 20, as UCLA showing some lack of discipline right now as he pushed Thor.
Off the field. Get off.
So now the trainer's going to check on Thor, but UCLA is going to lose a second player. They might lose some more here as headed to the showers for UCLA. Number 20, Pietro Grassi. So Grassi, who is a freshman from Milan, Italy. That means, if I'm correct, the first game next season, he'll also have to sit out. And Thor
is there a reason why the clock is running?
As Thor throwing some kisses to the UCLA bench. The whole crowd saying, "Let's go, Thor." Thor needs to be careful to make sure that he also does not get a card.
I didn't want any other flies when I knew Weston at all.
Entering the match for Duke.
Duke with a goal in the 87th minute by Ruben Masalas, and a minute later, Peter Stroud off of an assist from Nick Periano. So 2 goals in less than a minute there for the Duke Blue Devils. Thor Ufarson will check back in. And Ryan Jordan's team so close to surviving all of those shots, but on shot number 25, Duke made it 1-1, and on shot number 26, Duke made it 2-1. Duke right now with 27 shots, 12 on frame, forcing the youngster Crawford to make 10 saves. And it's Duke 2, UCLA 1. As UCLA just had to do too much down a man, reminding you that way back in minute 34, Yoni Sorokin, and now we got more pushing and shoving going on. And this one getting out of control. Coach Jordan is out on the field right now, and I'm not even sure what's going on. As it looks like the referee might be taking a look at any additional disciplinary issues. I think that's Coach Jordan all the way out at midfield. John Kerr just telling his team to be smart, stay in this one. In the meantime, it looks like, again, I'm not positive about this, but I think the referee might be taking a look at some of the pushing and shoving. So remember, they do have video review for goals and disciplinary issues. It's clear that the talented player for Duke, Thor Ufarson, the ACC Offensive Player of the Year with those 14 goals, was doing a little bit of talking to the goalkeeper, and then that led to the defender pushing Thor down, and the red card. The official has taken a look at the video review. Meanwhile, Coach Jordan is still out on the field, I think, talking to his team to just settle down. I did have an opportunity to spend some time with Ryan Jordan as prep a couple years ago for that game against Indiana, and he is a first-class person. It looks like they're going to bring Thor out. So Scotty Taylor's going to come on for Thor Ufarson. And I'm not sure if Thor is going to end up getting a yellow card.
Hold on, we're checking.
So Grassi with the red and Sorokin with the red. So UCLA will finish down 2 players, and Duke with a lot of drama here. 87th minute score from Ruben Masalas, assisted by Lewis McGarvey. 88th minute goal from Peter Stroud, assisted by Nick Periano, and that's the difference as Duke leads it by a score of 2-1.
You got 136 on your watch?
And we still have 96 seconds to work off here, as the official is kind of just walking around right now.
All four of us have that time.
And here we go. We will now get to these final 96
We all
seconds.
talked about the time. That's what we
As
had.
Duke has come from behind, taking advantage of that player advantage. There was no yellow card. It's official. So Duke now looks like they'll advance to face the winner of LIU and St. Louis. Can tell you that down the road, I mean, they're in New Hampshire, but North Carolina way behind 4-1 against New Hampshire now. The Tar Heels look like their season's going to end. Providence has tied Marshall. West Virginia and Virginia Tech also tied at 1. I mentioned Johan Settergren. His team will face Santa Clara at 7 o'clock, and they'll face the winner of Denver and Clemson. Duke looking for a third one. Muhammad. And Muhammad needs to pass that ball and doesn't, as the final 40-some seconds remaining. But Duke did what they needed to do, and Duke again will advance and face the winner of LIU St. Louis. That game is underway in St. Louis. So Duke, though, as the 7th seed, will have another home game coming. So I might have to put a call into Katie Bissell for that one. Here's a throw in. Final seconds counting down. And what a great finish for the Duke Blue Devils on what has been an incredible season. They come from behind with the player advantage in front of a great crowd here at Koskinen, and moving on to face the winner of St. Louis and LIU. And either way, they'll have another home game coming here at Koskinen. The final score, Duke 2, UCLA 1. For Katie Bissell and Peter Summers, I'm Dean Linke. Thanks for watching this game on ACC Network Extra. One more time, Duke advances on in the NCAA tournament courtesy of a 2-1 win over UCLA. And you saw it all right here on ACC Network Extra.
Thank you for your attendance today.